So I'm tired of having this door panel off here. This is our 1991 MR2 NA automatic. Yay. So finally got a new window regulator. I got it from Amazon. Toyota parts deal was out of them. It is a genuine Toyota part. It doesn't say genuine Toyota part. It just says genuine as far as the manufacturer. So I don't know if that was a manufacturer called genuine, but it turns out it's a real part. So I know for the future. But I got new front speakers for it, for this side and the other for the passenger door. And I want to do this window regulator. I think the reason this is so messed up is that here are the bolts for the window regulator. I believe the tabs that hold the bolts to the window regulator itself are broken, because this little guy in here is part of the regulator, and this thing, it moves all over the place. So I'm hoping that's the only problem. Maybe the motor's bad too. I don't know, but we're gonna find out. So I'm not gonna film me doing this because I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time. But we're gonna start off taking out the window, and there's two of these right here, two of these little nuts and bolts, or at least nuts. One here and one that could be accessed through this little panel here that I had to break some of the stuff off through. We can get to the other one through there, and then hopefully we'll just be able to lift the window right out to make our job a little bit easier. So we'll see how that goes, and I'll come back when I'm done with that. Alright, so far so good. I'm doing this in my backyard, close to the little garage. So if it starts raining, I could back it in there and save it from getting all wet. But on the top here we have the original window regulator that we just took out. It was not hard to do. All it was is we had to pop the connector out of here for the motor. The regulator itself is not motorized, the motor is, obviously. Pop that out. That was kind of a pain to pop out, but I used some of my trim tools and I got it out. The bolts here, 1, 2 behind that wiring loom, 3, and 4? 4. I think that was it. Or 4. Actually, I think this was it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. As you can see, this one's slotted, so you can adjust it. You can see the witness mark right there. I'm pretty sure that's where the bolt holes were. I gotta think about that. You know, I did it like 5 minutes ago, but of course I'm already forgetting. I'm getting old. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 down there. It's in the shape of that bracket. I also had to take there's 2 other bolts too. A little support that bolts here and here. I'm positive it's this hole. This one also has a slot to adjust it, I guess. I'm going to put it right back where it was. You know, even though the window wasn't working, that wasn't the problem. You can see the witness marks here from the washer. To get to this bolt, I had to take my grab handle off, which is easy. That's 2 bolts. Right, two threaded bolts, 2 self-tapping, whatever you want to call them, with the point on them. And as I suspected, my problem is indeed broken mounting ears. Here's 1, 2, 3. These are what bolt the regulator into there. Obviously on the inside of the door though, probably more like that. And they all snapped off, which is a very common problem with Toyotas of this vintage and their window regulators, or so I'm told, or so I've read. So, as you can see here, here is our original regulator with 1, 2, 3 ears broken off. This one's still holding strong, doesn't even look cracked, so I guess that guy survived. Here's the motor, which I believe is okay, it still functions. We'll take that out and take a look at the gear. I believe, like I said, I believe the problem wasn't the window regulator gear or the motor gear, at least I hope it wasn't. The motor seemed to be fine. I think it was just these mounting tabs right here. This also is bent. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if someone was trying to mess with it, or someone was in there and did something to it. But this is bent right here. See how this moves? Oh, here's my new one. Since it's old and it's probably been sitting in a bag, I added some white lithium grease along the track up here, and I smeared some on the regulator gear itself. And you can see we have our nice 1, 2, 3, 4 mounting tabs, nice and strong, no cracks. This is a new part, like I said, OEM part. Here's the part number if you need it. 69802-17040. That's for the left door, the driver door here in the United States. I'd imagine it'd be your passenger door if you're in the UK or somewhere else that has right-hand drive cars. But so yeah, so here's our new part and our old part, kind of side by side. Obviously, the motor is a separate part. That's like $200, so if that works, I'm not buying that. That's for damn sure. And we're gonna take that off there with a few screws. Ow, that's sharp. With a few screws. And connect it to this. Went right through my glove. And we'll see how it goes. I'll check back with you after we have some of this done. And we're back. So I took the motor off our old regulator here. 1, 2, 3 screw holes. It screws in from the back. This is the back of the regulator, technically speaking. I reused those original screws. They were in decent shape. They weren't very tight. I recommend you get a slotted screwdriver. I used a nice big slotted screwdriver. Got them out and got them back in to the new one, I should say. And then, pardon my horrible camera work. I took this into the bench in my shed, make it a little easier so I don't have to work on top of a garbage can. But anyway, here is the our new regulator, all bolted up. That gear slid right in there and meshed up with their regulator gear good. I put a little more white lithium grease on the motor gear. It's a very small gear. It's an old star gear, about that big for the motor. That interfaces with the regulator gear. So let's go and try to put this in the car. That should hopefully not be too hard. I'm sure we'll face a snag, but let's see how that goes. All right, so back in. And it works. I'll show you that in a minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4 behind that loom, and then 1 that's adjustable. I put it back where it was. 2. Best thing to do is do these 4 first, and then do those 2. All right. Then what I did is I connected up the button. And I kind of was playing with the window by hand and getting the window in position to mesh with the two bolts, one over here and one over here. I had to bring it down to that inspection hole again, and I was able to finagle it and get it to sit correctly right there. So I had the window down at that level. But window goes up, window goes down, which is exactly what I wanted. I'll demonstrate for you. Let me put you down for a second. Sorry. But now, window up, window goes down, all the way down, and as we go up, all the way up. So, there you go. I made a mess of my window. It's all greasy and everything now. I'm going to put this back on, and then I have to adjust the window. There's some window adjustments that could be done. As far as up limit, and I think in and out, meaning toward the outside of the car, toward the inside of the car when the door's closed, and some stuff like that. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do my speakers later, or probably in a little while. Put my door panel back on, finally, and now I don't have to drive around, the rare times I do drive it, leaning on this thing. That's very uncomfortable. So, there you go. Any questions or anything, let me know. Hope this helps somebody.